Here's a leadership tip from Jesus' ministry and Jesus' example on building team. This one I love because you don't see it that much, but Jesus stood up for his team. So if you were, one of his disciples, you would have felt like Jesus always had your back. And although Jesus was the focus of most of the criticism in the New Testament, his disciples were criticized at times as well. Two specific examples is in Luke chapter 19, verse 37 to 40, when Jesus is riding into Jerusalem on a donkey the weekend or the week before Easter, and his followers are praising him, and they're praising God, and they're blessing him as the king, and the Pharisees really get down on him. They criticize them, but Jesus defends them. And Jesus says, no, if they don't do that, the rocks are going to cry out. And he defends his team, and that's a really key thing. As a leader, are you defending your team to others, or are you criticizing your team to others? All right. As leaders, if we want to follow Jesus' example, we want to defend our team. We want their back. Whoever I follow, my leader, I want to know that my leader's got my back. I want to know that my leader's on my side, and that he's not talking about me behind my back. He's not putting me down, but he's defending me. That I know if somebody is criticizing me, that my leader's on my side and they're taking care of me. On one Sabbath day, the disciples were walking through a field, and they were hungry. And it was a wheat field, and so they started breaking off pieces of the heads of the wheat, and they kind of rubbed them in their fingers and were eating the grain. Well, the Pharisees just got all upset about it and criticizing the disciples. But Jesus stood up to the Pharisees and said, no. He defended his disciples. And so when a follower can be confident that their leader, so as a member of a team, you can be confident that your leader's got your back, then there's loyalty and trust. In an environment where leaders expect their team to stand with them, a leader must demonstrate that he or she is willing to stand up for their team in the face of criticism. I think it's just a big key that Jesus exemplifies for us, and we want to follow that example.